Patch 12.1 will bring a new treasure collection achievement, and that will be the Coiled Isle treasures. And completing this will give you the Auriferous Venomfang mount. I'm Silo with Zygor, and in this video we'll run through all of the various treasures so you can get them completed on day 1 to get yourself a mount, a bunch of rep, and some other cool items along the way as well. The first treasure on our list is going to be Vul'zahns Smuggled treasure, and you're going to find this in Toka's Landing, which is the main hub. There's going to be Vul'zahn who stood next to his treasure. You'll want to speak to him and ask him basically how I can get the key for the treasure, and he'll send you off to get him some food. Just south of the village, you'll find the Witherbark Cook. You'll speak to them and they'll say they need something for their headache. Just to the left of them, to the west, you'll find the Tortolan Dezi, and they'll give you the cure for the headache. You'll return back to the Witherbark Cook. You'll get the food, you'll return to Vul'zahn, and now you'll get the key to open the first treasure. The next treasure will be the Cracked Skull, and this one's going to be quite simple. You're just going to head to this location and loot it, and we're done with that treasure. Next up, way off in the north, we're going to find the Sunken Diver's Chest, and to open this, you'll need to kill the mobs in the area. There's going to be these brine tail fish. You're going to kill those and they will drop key fragments. The other fish may drop fragments as well, but these were the only ones that did for me. Once you have enough fragments, you can combine them together and open the chest, and from this chest you will also get a mask toy. Next up, we're going to head a little bit south and you'll find a shipwreck, and in this wreck we'll find the Ornate Bottle. Nothing we need to do for this, we can just simply loot it. Now we're going to head a little bit more south as well, and you'll be in this kind of Murloc village. And here we'll just find the Venom Necklace. It's going to be on kind of the upper level of this ruined structure, just behind the fence, and you'll get yourself the Venom Necklace. A little bit south from here, we'll find a no-named grave, and you're not able to loot this treasure initially. There'll be a ghost nearby that'll basically say, like, no one remembers me. I'd love for someone to remember me, essentially. And what we need to do is go out and find 3 ghosts who remember who this person is. I'm not too sure if there is a particular order, so I'm going to give the order that I found the ghosts in, just in case they only spawn after the first one is found. So I found the first one all the way over here. It's kind of sat on this bit of a stone structure. You'll speak to them and they'll wander off. The next one I found was over here in the kind of like the little ghost hub. There's going to be a ton of ghosts here, and one of them in particular will remember who the ghost is that we're looking for. And then the final one was actually quite tricky to find. It's going to be up above on this pillar, and you're going to speak on it. You'll have to land on the pillar and speak to them. And once you've found all 3 ghosts, we can now head back to the grave, and now we'll be able to loot the grave, and from that we will get ourselves another toy as well, which is going to turn you into kind of like a spectral warrior. And if you're looking for an in-game guide for some of the various older treasure achievements, then check out Zygor in the link in the description down below. That's going to have a system where you can search for various different achievements, quest lines, mounts, pets, all that stuff. And once you search for the thing you're looking for, if it has a guide, you can select that guide and load it up, and it'll give you a complete step-by-step on how to complete it. The next treasure is going to be in the Ring of Glory area that we were just in as well, and that is going to be the Crumbling Urn. Nothing we need to do for this, we can simply just loot it. Now slightly to the southeast, we'll find this kind of shoreline, and here you'll find the Malfunctioning Staff treasure. You'll loot that and you will also get a toy with this as well. Now you're going to head slightly west and you'll find the Abandoned Amani Privateer's cache. What you need to do is fish up a morsel from over here and then go into the water and interact with the dolphin. Once you've interacted with them, you're now able to kind of like use them to sense kind of things buried under the sand in the water. You want to take them over to basically the 2 sides of the water. There's going to be one over here kind of near this rubble, and once you go there, you'll kind of be able to loot the item. And then you're going to head to the other side and there will be another item for you to loot there. Once you have both pieces, you can combine them together to make the key, and now you're able to open the cache. Now slightly west from where we were, you'll find a forgotten treasure. There's going to be a troll ghost that sat on a stone structure, and when you're trying to speak to them, it'll be a language that you don't understand. What you need to do is head over to the Altar of Wrath, and on the side of the Altar of Wrath is going to be an item you can loot. Once you've looted that item, you can head back to the ghost. You'll be able to give that item to them, and now they'll leave behind the forgotten treasure for you to loot. Now we're going to continue south, and you're going to find a cave here, and inside the cave is a crab, and it wants pearls. So what you need to do is head out into the water that's very close by. You're going to dive down, and there's going to be these clams that you can open, and from them you'll have a chance of getting a pearl. Once you have a pearl, you'll take it back, and there's going to be a specific spot for you to leave the pearl on. Once you leave it there, the crab will run over happily. It'll pick up its pearl and it'll leave behind the key that you need for the treasure that's in the same room. Once you open that treasure, you're now done with that one. The next treasure, you'll head over to Naldor Isle, And there's just going to be a Forgotten Mask here that's very simple. You just loot it and that is that treasure done as well. Now we're going to head across this kind of lake area to the north side just below Tokka's Landing. And here you'll find Gattu's Cursed Blade. This is an interesting one as well. You can kind of summon a ghost that will spawn and laugh at people who have died. A little fun item for you to have there as a toy. Now you're going to head mostly west, a little bit south, and there's going to be this kind of venomous area. And here you'll find the Fangbound Sack, and you'll just loot that there. It's in the Gate of the Eastern Fang area. You can loot that treasure, there's nothing you need to do. And then slightly to the west of this, you'll find the Profane Ritual Altar, and you need to do a combo to be able to open it. So if your back is facing the altar, it's going to be the bottom left, the bottom right, the top left, and the top right. Once it's clicked in the correct order, the chest itself behind you will now unlock and you're able to loot the treasure. Now we're going to head kind of southwest, and there's going to be this shipwreck that you'll find. And in the shipwreck will be the possessed vase that you can loot. Nothing you need to do for this, so quite simple. And that's going to be on the wreck of Seth Rallis' scale. Now we're going to head slightly north over to the Gate of the Western Fang, and inside a crumbled building you'll find the Smoldering Incense. Once again, nothing we need to do in particular for this treasure. Now we're going to head quite far north, and here we'll be in the Blistering Terrace. And on the very north end of the Blistering Terrace, you're going to find Zul'jan's stash. You loot that, there's nothing you need to do to be able to open this chest. Slightly south-ish, you'll also find in the same area the damaged Loa Trinket. Once again, nothing you need to do to open this treasure. Now from here, going slightly east, going towards the Serpent's Tail, you'll find the Waterlogged Basket. It's going to be in kind of like this skeletal ruin. And then slightly southeast from here in the Serpent's Tail, you're going to find a Tarnished Amani Glaive. Once again, simply loot this. And then just south of this is going to be the final treasure we need, which is going to be the Stinking Vessel. And once again, nothing in particular we need to do for this. You can head over there, loot it, and you've got yourself the final treasure, which would have got you a bunch of toys, a bunch of rep, and that mount too. And completing all these treasures and knocking out the mount is only going to take about 1 to 2 hours, so definitely an easy one to do on day 1. We're going to have plenty more 12.1 and beyond guides, videos, etc. on the channel, so definitely make sure you look out for more content coming soon. Outside of that, thanks for watching guys, see ya!